Hello, this is Brendan James, bringing you a review of two revolutionary tablet computers, the Kindle Fire and the iPad 2. We'll be taking a look at some specs and features of both of these computers and decide which one is best for you. So let's start with the covers. As you can see, this Kindle, it's made of leather, and it has a strap here to keep the front closed, which is nice because it pops open a lot. So you can take this off, and I like how it covers both the back and the front. It looks very clean, very classy. Now you open it up, and the screen is just all black. There's no buttons, as like the iPad has the home button right here. There's nothing. So you just go down here, and there's a little on button, as well as a microphone jack and a charging port. Standard slide to unlock mechanism, and you have books. Your most recent uses are right here, apps and books and such, and you can add your favorites to the bar below, actually 2 bars, similar to the iPad 2. Now, as you can see, the screen size is obviously smaller. You have a 7-inch screen here compared with a 10-inch screen on the iPad 2, so it's personal preference, really. I like how the Kindle Fire fits in one hand like this. You can hold it like a book, and that makes it really nice. So I prefer that aspect of it compared with the iPad 2. Screen resolution is, they're both very similar. Kindle Fire is slightly less resolution, but since it has a smaller screen, it's relevant. Now, in terms of price, Kindle Fire is obviously a lot less expensive at $200 versus the iPad 2 starting at $500 for the base model. However, the iPad obviously has a lot of bells and whistles. You have your camera, 2 cameras actually, a back camera used for video chatting, as well as a front camera used for video and still pictures as well. 1080p video actually, which is full HD. So that's a big benefit of this. However, you probably won't be using the camera a lot. A lot of people have their cameras on their smartphones now, so it's very clumsy using the iPad camera. So if you don't need that feature, the Kindle is definitely a more viable option. It'll save you a lot of money. In terms of storage, you have this with 8 gigabytes versus this with 16 to 64 gigabytes. However, storage is moving a lot in the cloud direction, and most of the things you buy on the Kindle get stored in the cloud. So the space isn't really a big issue. So I wouldn't base your buying decision based on the amount of gigabytes of storage it has. The speed of these two tablet computers are very similar. They both have dual-core processors. This has dual-core with an A5 chip based on the OIS 5 system, while this is running a rather old Android operating system. So I do notice a little bit of lag in this. It's not bad. It's fine for most people's use. However, the iPad seems a little bit more sharper and a little bit more responsive when you click on icons. One huge benefit I find about the iPad 2 is that it has a huge and developed app store. The Apple App Store has everything you could want, all your standard things plus more. Over 90,000 games, utilities, and everything. Whereas the Amazon App Store, it's fine. You have your standard and popular apps. However, it's just developing. You only have about 15,000 apps, which it's a lot, but you might not have everything that you want. Now, another difference is that the iPad 2 has 3G capabilities for an added fee, which make it a lot easier to browse the web, check email when you're not in a Wi-Fi zone, which is a lot of the time. So, if that interests you, you probably want to check that out. It costs about $80 more to get this capability, and plus a data plan each month. However, if you own a AT&T or Verizon smartphone, you can usually find a way to incorporate this into your plan. Now, the last thing I want to mention is something I think a lot of people don't realize. The iPad 2, you connect to your computer, you sync your music and everything, and you can back it up on your computer as well, your photos and contacts and such. And whereas the Kindle, it's all on the cloud. You back up to the cloud, so there's no port that allows you to connect to the computer. This is so if you're an Apple person, you have a big iTunes library that you were thinking of putting on your Kindle Fire, you can't do that. So that's a big drawback because I know a lot of people have iPhones and iPods. So if you're already big Apple person, you might want to stick with the iPad as opposed to other tablets like the Kindle. So overall, these are both great computers. You can't go wrong with either of them. However, you might want to base your decision on what you're going to be using it for and what your budget is. So thanks for watching, and if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments, and please remember to like and subscribe.